So this morning, the message as it is comes from our lay speakers. I want to talk to you for just a second about that. We have a lay preacher program that we've just started in the church, and all three lay speakers, lay witnesses for this morning come out of that program. The idea being that time on their feet talking to groups of people is good for them, but beyond that, they all have compelling lay witnesses, ways that Christ has impacted their lives and changed. Today, you will hear three individuals' stories, and I dare say that in each one, you will be able to blend your own story and life experience and hear a word of hope. I have read and heard these lay witnesses, and each one of them is truly touching and powerful, and I'm quite excited to be able to share these folks with you.
My name is David Avila. I've been attending VUMC for approximately 5-6 years. Evan pleads to anyone who will listen to buy him a new game for the Wii. Sophie and Mason mysteriously forget to not bounce the big, swirly blue ball in the house. Abby is engaged in a serious discussion with my wife on one of the many subjects that trouble a preteen heart. The TV shouts the virtues of the Snuggie. All I want to do is come home and relax. All I want is for everyone to leave me alone. All I want is to not deal with any of this. Why does chaos greet me every day? As I grew into adulthood, I became a loner. I did not have many friends, and I didn't want any. I was angry, spiteful, and cruel. I felt abandoned by the God my mother told me about. I questioned everything. I eventually brought my questioning crosshairs upon my faith, and I asked, is there really a God? Did his son really exist? What about all those other religions? They have similarities. Could we all be on the right track? Could we all have a different piece of the spiritual pie? If someone was to ask the right questions, could they bring the pieces all together and make it whole again? I wanted to be that person. I wanted to find the truth. If not for the world, then definitely for me. I looked into everything I could about religion and faith and spirituality, and I learned a great deal, but none of it satisfied me like the stories my mother and family shared with me from the Bible. These stories seem most real and authentic. I felt satisfied I found the truth. For me, Christianity was what I was seeking. It wasn't fragmented at all, but even so, it wasn't enough. As real and authentic as it was to me in my mind, my heart was still empty. It was a science experiment that failed. I took a beaker of God, a dash of the cross, and poof, I was supposed to find truth. All I had to do was drink it, and I would have salvation. It was supposed to be easy. I had all my spiritual ducks in a row, but I was not different. Did it take? I loved God. I loved his son. I did not love his children. People bugged me before and bugged me still. Did I do the formula right? Was I still the same me? I still didn't like people. I liked being alone. I had my set of friends, and I wasn't accepting any new applications. I saw no value and no worth in his creation. I thought my faith was to be added value and not a complete transformation. I questioned my God. I questioned, why could you ever love me, you, or anybody? I was still missing something. In a one-bedroom house, just slightly above standards of a shack, my wife screams and cries in our bathroom. I rush in to console her or join in celebration. I don't know which to feel. She confirms to me in tears and laughter. We are literally hopping and down for joy. We are pregnant. As Abigail grew up, my way of doing things was just not working anymore. I was ashamed of my past choices and for the type of person I had become. I seriously did not want my daughter to learn from me, and become me. It was through this self-loathing that I realized, how could I ever love my daughter if I did not love myself? My God, what have I done? I will not be responsible for destroying my daughter's life too. I did what my family taught me long ago. I turned to the only loving God I ever knew, and I screamed out to him, and I pleaded with him, and I begged him. I was so sorry. I had done so many things wrong. Please show me a better way. My way doesn't work anymore. I need you so much. Please, God, help me. Please. On that day, I gave up me, and I dedicated my life to Jesus, to follow him and only him. And I was finally transformed. I was different. I found the missing piece, and it was me. I loved my daughter so much that I was willing to give up the one thing I held most valuable, my pride. I emptied myself that day, and God filled me with his Spirit. I finally understood how important you are to him, and you became important to me. I was once a hater of people, and now I find myself gathering people to me. I am now a people magnet. What once repelled now attracts. I have so many friends, it takes me time to count them all. I find myself now seeking people who I believe are alone, and I desperately want them to have that feeling to end. I don't want anyone to be alone like I was for so long. The missing ingredient in my faith was that I needed to give more love. When I walk into my home and so much chaos greets me, I would not have it any other way. Though it can be trying, some days I just sit back and I smile. My wife questions my sanity as her last nerve gets stomped on. As wild and crazy as my family is, I love them so much. And I thank God for each of them, because I have seen my life without them, and though quiet, it is an empty, lonely, godless life.